Hey everybody, welcome to Ask the Anabolic Doc, starring Dr. Thomas O'Connor, MD. I said Dr. and MD, that's kind of redundant. Brought to you by his websites, anabolicdoc.com and metabolicdoc.com. We interrupt our regularly scheduled Q&As this week for a very tragic story. Dr. O'Connor tore his pec a couple weeks back. I got to hear this story. It begins on a dark and stormy night. Tell me all about it, Doc.
Thank God I'm laughing, Ron, but it's been rough. It has been rough. I don't wish this on anyone.
No one? Come on.
Well, some people, but we'll leave them nameless.
Yeah.
This is horrible. I have torn my left bicep off the bone when I was probably 35. Everyone does that, right? Distal bicep rupture. That they put it back on. Great. Yeah. I'm a power lifter, you know. Still haven't learned. I tore my hamstring off the pelvis about 2 years ago, mountain biking, flipping up over, and that was off the pelvis. They put that back on. That was a bear.
Okay.
I've had partial pec tear. Now this is going to resonate. This is all for our guys, right? All for our listening audience. I've had partial pec tears. I've had a small trap tear that you hear go click, and what was that? And it's like things strain. Things could tear, and there's amazing how the body can actually come back from partial pec tears and even bicep tears and hamstring tears. So here's the story. You know, I've lost a lot of weight because I'm always trying to play around with stuff and trying to, you know, do new diets, and like, they're not diets, right? It's behavior. So I'm trying to do the ketogenic, and I'm like, I really just want to mountain bike, and I want to get down to 180, 175. And I want to see if I could bench 425 pounds, maybe 400, 425, 450 at 181.
Okay.
So there's 181, there's 198, there's 220, 242, 275, 300, 305 plus. So that's powerlifting, right? It hasn't changed. It's been the same for 40 years. So
I wish I could do the same for bodybuilding.
Right, so I competed at 220. I benched 500 at 220. I was kind of big and puffy. I benched 500 this is with a shirt on. I'm not saying I did it raw. I did a bench press shirt, you know, which is great. I did 5 at 220, and then when I was 47, I cut down to 195, 198, and I benched 505 at 198. And my next move was, you know, I'm like Vinny DeSenza. He benched Vinny benched 900. It's super heavy. And then in the last year or two, Vinny's dropped down to 198, and he benches raw, which I know he's concerned about because the shit that I go through. Yeah. He benched 425 at 198 raw. Now let me tell you something. A lot of guys talk a lot of smack. That a raw competition bench at 198, 425, taking it down, holding it, pause, and then press. Don't move your butt. And lock it out to the judges and then rack. So, I mean, I wasn't going to try 425 at 198. I said, I want to go to 181, put a shirt on, because I'm the doc. I can put a shirt on. So that was my idea. And we're doing a trailer. You know, I have a lot of media, so I have a video trailer.
Yeah.
I go, I'm down to like 188 at that point, 190. Yeah. Here's my dream. I want to do like a 10-second intro for all my videos. So I hire the video guys. They come over. We go mountain biking the morning of, and then get some great clips that I put on Instagram. That short little clip of the mountain biking, which people are like, "That's so random, Doc. What's up with the clips?" And then so here's a story. And then we went downstairs to bench.
But
same day.
There was your mistake.
So
go ahead.
So here's the story. So I lost weight. I'm 53 years old. That's part of it. I had a partial pec tear for years anyway, like everyone else probably does, right? And then the day before, which is the secret, the day before I was out shooting long guns with a bunch of buddies, and I shot an elephant gun. Now, for all the listeners, Ron, I don't want to shoot elephants because I love elephants, but this is, according to the hunting professional guys, this is a gun. It's a high-powered 50 cal a rifle, and it's not really used for target practice because, oh my God, Ron, I was out with these, you know, my friends are like cops, military, DOD contracts, badass dudes, and we were out shooting somewhere undisclosed in the middle of nowhere, and in the woods, and I saw all these guns, and I go, what are these? And they go, Doc, get away from those. Those are the big boy guns.
Big boy
and I
guns.
go, come on. I go, what is that? Well, Doc, you want to shoot it? Here it is. So they go, Doc, put it into your shoulder very tight, aim it over here, and pull the trigger. So, Ron, I did only 2 shots. Oh my God!
What was the kickback like on that thing?
Holy crap!
Like a donkey kicked you?
It makes a 12 gauge shotgun like you're shooting like a little BB gun.
Yeah, typically those 50 cals. I'm not a gun expert, but usually when I see people, they're on a tripod. They're not holding them up against their shoulder. It's on the tripod.
So the guys told, I respect the hunting guys, and it's amazing. And they were like, Doc, these are usually mounted, or if they're not mounted, what happens is if you're out in the safari and you're hunting, unfortunately, elephants. I know, but look, I mean, it's not something I would want to do, but these guys are professional hunters. Do you realize you have like the main hunting guy, and then you have professional hunters that are there to protect him?
Wow.
So they have these guns that if the elephant comes charging, like they hit it with 1 or 2 shots, and it drops a 4,000-pound elephant. Wow. So it's the most powerful gun. And then the history is, like, these are similar guns that are used in World War I and World War II. Right. For all you history fans, I learned some history. And if you read the history of World War I, any war, unfortunate wars, the truth is these young men use some of these guns, and they've historically destroyed their shoulders and broken their shoulders. And it's like, so I shot this gun the day before.
Okay.
Ron, it did destroy. My shoulder was like, oh my God, who does this? So I sucked it up. I went home, chilled out. Then here we are the next day. I wake up, I feel good. I do the mountain biking component, the shots, come down to the basement. I got the film crew there. Thank God my buddy, because my girlfriend can lift off like I have a safety rack, and a lift off, she can walk it out. Like we have the competition Forza bench. Okay. It's a fat pad. I mean, it's for heavy benching. It's not the skinny little. It's a real professional bench.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I've had it for years, and it's awesome. I have the Texas powerlifting bars and all the real stuff. And the most important piece of equipment is the guy. Yeah, the guys who train with. So my buddy was there. He just came in the nick of time. And he handed it off to me. So the film it was too bad. I guess it's too bad it wasn't rolling. Went 135, 2 1/4, up to 315. What I wanted to do was I have a little slingshot, a little bench daddy. Yeah. And I was just going to put it on, and I was just going to be like, lay down, bench 405, 375, 4 1/4 with my bench, my little slingshot. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not trying to hide it. I was just going to be like, just boom, boom, I wanted 5 seconds of footage. And so we're at 315. I felt great coming down. I was coming down, had my back tight, had my leg. I was all my usual setup. My guy hands it off to me. I'm coming down. I'm like this close to the chest. Ooh, done. Wow. Game over.
So what did it sound like?
The freaking Velcro on steroids. And unfortunately, anyone who knows this. Yeah. So let me just show you guys here. So you see the video, you see the footage of in the operating room. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that was awesome.
So here it is. So that's healing up.
Ooh. We'll talk about it later, but the operation is on your YouTube channel. So if you go to metabolicdoc.com, go to the social media links, it'll take you right to that video where the doctor is slicing the other doctor. What's his name? Corey?
Dr. Corey Edgar.
Corey Edgar is calmly explaining how he's slicing open his pec, reaching in there, grabbing the tendon, doing all this cool stuff. It's just, another day at the office for him.
Look, man, you guys, so listen to this. I'm coming back. This pec is full. This pec is fully back on. Here's the take-home.
Let's back up. What happened right when the pec tore? What did you immediately do right after that?
So here's the deal. So, Ron, it's so surreal. I've torn. I did a partial pec tear once, and that was it's called a mid belly tear, right in the middle of the belly.
Wow.
It could tear from the sternum, and in my case, it can tear off of the upper part of the arm. You know, the pec muscle, the job of the pec muscle is to abduct your humerus into the center line, right?
The old pec
Right there,
machines. Yeah.
right there. Right. So it can happen it can happen like that, or do a benching motion. Boom. You see the humerus? It comes up. If it's a pec deck, it's just different. Or pec deck is this, bench is like that.
Right.
But in the end, so the insertion is about this deep and thick in the humeral, in the top of the humerus. I'm an internist. I'm not an orthopedic surgeon. I mean, I never even really knew this stuff, as far as those guys do. No. So when it tore, Ron, it's so freakish. It was coming down. I bench off my back. As a powerlifter, I've learned how to bench off my back.
Yeah.
So you just kind of bring it down. You're taking a deep breath. You're loading up. I bench off my triceps, my back. I don't even bench off my chest that much. That's the secret. And I keep my arms like not out. I keep my arms like super. Yes. It's very bizarre. And if you use a bench press shirt, I mean, that's how you have to bench off your belly like that. So again, that's just powerlifting. So Ron, I'm coming down, and I remember being close to the chest, and I was like, holy shit, I could freaking rep out with this. And all of a sudden, right down to the chest. So it always tears, not on when it always tears when it's called an eccentric contraction, when the muscle's lengthening, right?
The negative.
So yes, the negative. So, and that's apparently, again, I'm not a biomechanic PhD in orthopedics, but apparently when your brain when you're doing a negative, you're contracting less muscle fiber, so the shearing forces across the belly and the tendon are actually higher. So when you're contracting concentrically, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, experts out there, if exercise, this is for exercise physiology experts.
Yeah.
So if you're contracting concentrically, you're fully firing, and you're really utilizing more end motor units.
Right.
So that's why people, when you tear a bicep, it's going down, not up.
Right.
So, and then the same thing. So, and that's, the hamstring's the same thing. It's when it's stretching out.
Right.
And it's that powerful contraction when it's under pressure, but it's lengthening. Kapow. So
did this drop on you, or did somebody grab it?
Oh, it dropped. Oh my God. It was just like, and then in split second, because I'm so freaking old, I've been through so many injuries. I've been through this for so many years, lifting since 13. I've torn so much stuff within once. So my buddy loves the story. Apparently, I said, grab it, take it. My usual take it when I miss the rep.
Yeah. He
peels it off me, racks it. I pop off the bench and I go, okay, everyone, time to go. Phil, guys, use the mountain bike clip. The bench is over. I'm done. And I looked at Robbie. I go, please leave, because I was ready to cry. Because I thought right then and there, I'm done. I'm done. That's it. Pec was torn. I knew it. I'm waiting for it to happen. This is where the negativity and the depression. And I'm like, and then they leave. Thank you so much. I'll pay you. You're the checks in the mail. They leave. And I go, Robbie, my buddy Robbie, he goes, Doc, what the fuck? What happened? I go, I tore my pec. He goes, take your shirt off. So we took the shirt off, and I'm flexing it, and sure enough, I've seen this unfortunately too many times. The belly, the muscle was like blip, 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 and it was just contracting and quivering and spasming, and I was like, it looked like it just looked nasty.
I've never really seen it close. I've been around people who have torn the pecs. I've never seen it actually happen, but so it tore off the origin. Is that right in your case?
Yeah.
So it really, correct me if I'm wrong, it couldn't contract, right?
No,
you just had a ball of muscle like rolled up like a window shade over near your sternum.
So listen, if you go in the operating room with us on the video, the doctor didn't even. I saw him. I called him a few days later. I went through a pretty bad depression, and I want to talk about that. Even me, right, the hyper happy guy.
Yeah.
I went into a secluded depression for days, and it's still even hard. I finally reached out to the guy. I saw him. I'm so fortunate that I have these connections, and I saw him within minutes when he finally heard about me. I saw him up at Yukon, up at Stores, not Farmington. He's an expert in pec tears specifically.
Wow.
That's why I have a message for people about this. Please, I have a big message. And when I was thinking about what can I do, I was just going to be like, forget it. I don't even. No one does it. No one operates on it. You're just done, or it will come back. Maybe it's a strain. Yeah. So when I saw him, he didn't even need an MRI. He goes, you have a full. There's 2 or 3 insertions apparently to the pec, the origin, and one is a sternoclavicular head that's still attached. Yes. Yeah, that's still attached. But the major, the inferior abdominal head is the main one that connects. And when you go onto my YouTube, Anabolic Doc YouTube channel, and he opens me up and he's pushing it. He goes, see this? And he's pushing and pulling the stuff, and he shows he's still connected up top, but the main insertion, about that much of the insertion, is completely torn off, and it was buried deep right like here. Wow. From here to here.
Now, so what date did this happen on, Doctor?
Sunday, 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago this Sunday.
So it's been 3 weeks and 3 days since it happened?
No, it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks and 5 days.
Wow. So is that since the surgery or since the tear?
No, the surgery's tomorrow's 2 weeks.
Wow. I mean, I think you'd be in a sling or something still.
I am in a sling. Don't tell my doctor this.
Dr. Corey, he's going to see this. So.
But I took the sling off, doctor, just for the show, and I do wear my sling, of course. Okay.
I mean, you don't need that arm.
Right.
You don't need to gesticulate that much. You can put it back on.
I keep the sling on all day long. It's so depressing. It's so goddamn. I want to reach out to people on this and say that even me, I was like, I'm done. And I even jumped off of the bench. I was like, everyone get out of here. Get out. Just get out. Right. The only guy I didn't even want Robbie there. I was just like going to cry. Because I was like, I wanted to, I'm feeling mountain biking. I'm active. I'm kicking ass. I feel great. And tear my goddamn pec.
So what was the pain like? Was there a lot? Was there no pain at all?
Because I don't even care about the pain. The emotional pain is so much worse.
Wow.
It hurts. Oh, it hurts. It smarts.
I'm sure. So you didn't get it checked out immediately. I would think you being a doctor.
No need to go to the ER. Waste of time.
Okay, but how long did you wait to get something done about it?
Sunday, Monday, 2 days.
Okay.
I saw him on Tuesday. I toured on Sunday. I saw him on Tuesday. I was in the operating room Friday morning.
Because, what's the window of time where optimally you want to get that repaired before?
Good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably a week or two.
Okay. Because I remember Branch Warren years ago tore his quad off on a Saturday, and I think Monday morning he was in surgery.
There you go.
Because he was very concerned about getting it attached immediately as soon as possible.
Did he come back pretty good from that?
Not only did he come back, Doctor, 6 months later he won his second Arnold Classic title in a row.
That's right. That's insane.
Yeah, that's one of those legends of bodybuilding.
No, but here's the deal, guys. Anyone who's going to go down the road of what we do, from bodybuilding to powerlifting, Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, you're gonna get hurt.
Oh yeah. Sooner or later. It's
Ron, you've never had a muscle tear? I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, I've had all kinds of muscle tears.
Yeah.
I tore this tricep completely off.
Oh boy.
I had a partial hamstring tear, a partial calf tear, partial bicep tear, partial pec tear. Oh yeah, I'm all, and then there's we could talk all day about my injuries. Let's not. But oh yeah, anybody that does this. But in retrospect, what was the perfect storm? Was it because of that? Was there a shoulder injury as a result of shooting that 50 cal rifle the day before? You think?
Yes.
Some sort of instability was created or weakness inside the joint. Because you bench all the time.
Here's the deal. So the second video, the second video on my website, on the Anabolic Doc YouTube channel, discusses my post-op last week when I went to go 4 or 5 days after surgery. I went to go see the doctor, and then he draws on the whiteboard, please, everyone, you have to see this. He talks about the surgery. I mean, I took myself into the OR. I signed all the releases. He was a super cool guy. We had to get like 10 lawyers involved to do that. You know that's true.
To film it, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You don't just walk in the OR with your goddamn camera. So the guy was super cool. The guy's a MD, PhD. He's an absolute. He's fully focused on keeping athletes. At the end of the operation, in the operating room, he said, "All set. We're all done. Wrap them up. 500 pounds. Boom."
Wait, were you awake during this procedure?
No, my God,
okay.
no. That was full anesthesia. By the way, usually they do a partial block, so they use a little propofol.
Right.
They had to intubate me. I was intubated, the whole 9 yards, full anesthesia. I was down for over 2 hours in the OR.
Yeah. I mean, he's talking to you in the video, and you're still a little bit out of it at one point.
Well, that was the recovery room.
Right.
Holy moly! I mean, this is no joke. So, but here's the thing, what happened to me. So, I had a partial run. He talks about it he talks in the film about what. Here are the risks, guys. I mean, I've been benching heavy and lifting since 13.
40 years.
Yeah, straight. And I'm a psychopath like a lot of other people out there.
Yeah.
I don't fucking miss training sessions. I used to smoke pot and train. I mean, we would drink in college and train. I mean, who cares? We would, right, Ron?
Yeah.
You train, lift, don't miss. I mean, you just lift. Weights before dates. I mean, this is the first thing was weightlifting and powerlifting, and it just fully obsessed, as people know. That's what happens to guys like us. So, How do you think I became the Anabolic Doc? So that's number one. History. I'm 53, but I think the most important thing was, you're right, partial pec tear. Because for years I was benching all squirrely, and if you watch me in some of the competitions, I would always. And I had a shirt on. I just didn't want to bench up much over 375 or near 400 raw because I didn't want to tear it. So the bench press shirts, I mean, I benched over 500. Imagine how much support that bench shirt gives you.
So they really do keep you safer with the heavy lifting.
And I swear, I was just about I was going to go to 360, 315, and I was going to put quarters on, Ron.
Yeah.
And my goal, I was like, I'm definitely going to get a good one rep with 365 today.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm feeling good. I'll put 405 or 4 1/4 on.
Oof.
But I was going to use the bench band, the slingshot.
Okay.
Which helps. It does. These are beautiful apparatuses. I don't want to sell anything for anyone because I don't like some of these guys, but it's great. I'm going to come up with my own, and you know what? They allow older lifters to keep. No, you're not benching it raw. Okay, I'm not benching it raw. Go ahead and try to bench 500 pounds with any device you could find. You're not going to be able to do it, not easily, because you have to the technique. And then, matter of fact, using a bench shirt, you'll break your arm because you've known that, right, Ron? It shifts.
Never put one on.
Ron, I've seen guys drop 700 pounds. Thank God they're spotters, because the bench shirt is so tight. You can't even get. I've had bench shirts that I couldn't get 500 pounds to my chest in.
Yeah. And I've seen the guys that they can't even move. Their arms are out like this, like
that's
Frankenstein,
it, baby.
And they can't. They're literally locked into place.
And some people, there's denim, there's polyester, there's all sorts of Titan. I mean, Inzer. I'm not doing a plug for them, but those are the only two companies. There's another one called Outlaw or something like that, or Overkill. Okay. And let me tell you something right now. I mean, I love powerlifters. I mean, Gene Richlack and some of these guys, people that I know in the day, there's a couple of guys in the world that have benched 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's not so that they could raw. I mean, you know, the raw bench record right now, correct me if I'm wrong, is the Russian guy, 740, 750.
You would know better than I.
It's about 750 right now.
Hey,
And matter of fact,
random trivia before I forget. For a week in middle school, well, it was junior high back then, my substitute teacher was Ted Arcidi.
no way, baby.
Not only that, I had no idea who he was. I said, "Oh my God, this guy's a monster," you know, because I'm like 13 years old, and he said, "You go get me my lunch," and he gave me like $10, and I had to come back with like 4 cartons of chocolate milk and like 2 crappy, you know, school fish sandwiches or something, and I had to feed that guy for a week.
I trained with Ted in the 80s.
Really? Yeah.
Ted Arcidi was the first man in the world to legitimately bench over 700 pounds.
Yeah.
And he did it with he did have technically a little bench shirt on, but it was a Titan. It was a marathon. It was a nothing. It was just little small. I trained with Ted in the back room. I've trained with Ted privately.
Yep.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. I believe he's from Massachusetts. He used to
New Hampshire. Yeah.
New Hampshire, because I mean I grew up in Waltham, and he trained for a while at a gym in Waltham up where there was a lot of powerlifters called P&P. It's long gone, but it was all, you know, I never even saw the place. It was scared the hell out of me even thinking about going over there. But
Awesome.
so talk about the depression, because so many people watching this, I bet all of us have had injuries, and we know it's the worst. You just feel like your world has come to an end, because we love training so much. It's such a huge part of our lives. It's something that's always there for us. When life gets crazy, we can always go to the gym and lift heavy. So what's it like when you're saying, "Oh shit, I can't lift now. I can't do what I like."
I can't even ride my mountain bike.
Yeah,
You can't. So, you know, here's the deal, guys. And I really want to say, you know, I'm always focusing on my heart health, of course, and my cardiovascular health, and then you take for granted all health, and then this happens, and then you think, okay, how long? Well, the doc is like, you know, 3 months you'll be training a little bit, you know, 6 months, like you know, you got with Branch Warren, you know, amazing.
Yeah.
So the truth is, I got to wait 6 months or 9 months or 3 months. Jesus, I got the summer's wasted. When am I going to be back? I immediately, within seconds, I started thinking, get the surgery. I'll get through it. And then you're alone. And then you're at night, you're alone, and you just, I feel like crap, Ron. I feel like shit. I feel horrible. I'm fighting it. I'm okay. I'm working my ass off. Thank God I could still write with my hand.
You can still practice medicine with a torn pec.
I could still practice medicine. And let me tell you, that's what I'm saying. So life, you guys, as people know, it's so fragile. And here we are. We're not talking about heart attacks or kidney disease or anything today. This is something we love to do. It gets us away. It doesn't cost money. It gets every man, and you're competing against yourself. Weightlifters, bodybuilders, it's a beautiful self-competing where you do it for yourself. Yeah. Of course, on the big level, where here we are talking to Ron Harris and the top pros, it inches up, and then it's self. When you read the things that some of these guys say about bettering their lives, they're so inspirational. Mm. You know, and what's his name? I mean, Kevin Lavorne. I mean, it's amazing what they write, and a lot of it's, you know, the guys are like Seth Forsythe, from Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm in there. Let me tell you, I got a little prop to these guys, because I mean, life is short. I mean, we're all in this thing together, but we're a brotherhood, sisterhood of iron brothers. We just want to lift and freaking smash weights with or without steroids. I don't want anyone to get hurt, and so I want to live a long life. I'd love to do. I just want to keep doing this forever. And then I get a goddamn injury like this, and then, you know, Ron, and you've been through you tore your tricep. That's no joke.
Yep.
So you have to think. Now you got to think of, how do you get through it? So what am I doing? I'm hiking, and that's okay. I chill out. I'm not eating anything because I don't want to get fat. I'm just like trying to train the other arm a little bit. I'm not doing anything right now. I'm doing some leg presses. I'm training. So you train around the injury. The only thing that helps is, so many people have reached out to me, and I know that you've been through it. You know, Kevin went through it. I mean, everyone, and you fight, and then when you come back, it's that much sweeter, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, Lev Rowley's talked about his experience a couple times, more than a couple times, because he tore his pec very early in his pro career. So he did his first season as a pro in '92, and then it was only like the very beginning of '93. I think it was like February. He was training for the Arnold Classic. He tore his pec. I think he had 600, something stupid. I think he was doing 600 pounds. He was a strong bastard, that guy.
Yeah.
He still is. And, you know, he went through, he couldn't even tell, he had to keep it a secret because he would have lost his Weider contract.
Oh.
And he had to be in the Olympia that fall because otherwise he would have lost his contract again.
Wow.
So that led to him, you know, he had the surgery and he had it done under his armpit. And
wow.
the doctor experimented on a cadaver first.
Oh, I have a cadaver. I have a cadaver tendon in mine.
What? You have a cadaver?
They put a cadaver tendon on to make it, because if you suturing in, you got to watch the video.
Yeah.
Part 1, part 2. If you suture into, when they suture into the bones,
yeah,
they freaking drill in and they put these rivets in the back that are like teeters. They pull from the back, so it ain't coming out of the bone unless it breaks the bone.
Yeah.
So it's not going to come out. The problem is when they attach it to the muscle tendon belly area,
yeah,
it's like muscle can be like cheesecloth. It can be like tearing like through cheese with a wire.
Right.
So what they did from Kevin's time, from back in the 90s and stuff, they've learned, and he did it for me. What an expert. They don't always do this. He put a cadaver tendon, a big, thick Achilles. The Achilles tendon is the strongest tendon in the body. I have an Achilles. Thank you so much from whoever donated. I have an Achilles tendon.
He might not even be dead. It might be, this guy might still be alive. He just sold his,
right
sold
now,
his
man.
leg.
I'm a donor. I changed my card a couple. I was a donor on my card. I go, that's okay. Might as well leave it that way. So he check it out. On the muscle side. Here's the bone side.
Yeah.
He brings the muscle back into the muscle, you know, tendon area back into the bone. The belly's here. He freaking put he put like sewing machine on top of the muscle tendon belly area where he was going to anchor into to the bone. He explains it on a whiteboard.
Yeah.
He lays down a Achilles cadaver tendon, and he basically goes in and out of it like sewing machine, and that locks it in better when it heals. He's like, this is never going to tear again, ever.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Are you at greater risk of tearing it again, or are you at much less risk of tearing it again?
No. And I tore this bicep over here when I was 35. This left bicep was done by a very good doctor. It feels like I can curl like 60 pounds, 80 pounds. I really can. This right arm would tear any minute. Much strong, 100%. If, I'm telling you, if you're healthy, you get it done by, I'm telling you, you know, quality is everything in the world. My whole take-home message is with my depression and getting it, you have to go and see the best doctor that specializes in whatever injury you have. Because this guy, and I got some bad news, so many patients and so many people have reached out to me and said, Doc, I tore my pec, and the orthopedic doctor said, we don't really fix those.
Just stop lifting. You know, what do you need to lift?
You know what? That's bullshit. Because this guy, Corey Edgar, I'm definitely giving him a pump here. This guy he's a board-certified orthopedic surgeon from University of Connecticut. He is a PhD, so he's a researcher and an MD. He lives it. All he cares about is he wants people to get recovered and to go back and doing the craziest shit that they do.
Does he treat a lot of professional athletes from that area?
Sure he does. He treats his common thing, weekend warriors. So, but he treats he's a UConn. He treats the top athletes. He treats the pros. He works in Boston, so he's between.
Okay. He's probably worked on some of the New England Patriots, I would imagine.
He's a very humble. Absolutely, this guy's insane. I mean, this guy's got a resume that's like, I'm so happy that I reached out to my medical student. My med student was in the operating room with his colleague, and I said, hey man, I got some problems. And he goes, I showed the picture. It was starting to get black and blue, you know, really bad. And I said, I got a pec tear. Who should I see? I was thinking Dr. Acero or Masaka, which are two big orthopedic surgeons at UConn. And he goes, hold on. And Masaka in the operating room after he was done, he looked at it. He knows me. I give a lot of patients. I refer a lot of people to him. He looked at it and he said, I don't want to do it. Let Dr. Edgar do it. That's the end. That's the end of this. Corey Edgar is my man.
Wow. I mean, what advice do you have for people that, like you said, you're telling them go find someone who's very experienced at this type of injury and repair? How do they find that? I mean, you knew this guy. You know of this. You are very well connected in that area with the doctors, obviously, with the medical community. But regular Joes out there, what do you suggest that they would do?
Here's what you got to do. What a great question. We have the internet. You're always best to research a university center and an orthopedic surgeon in a university center. Obviously, in Boston, you got a bunch of places to pick, right? UMass, right? BU, right? UMass, Harvard.
Boston College, sure.
Yeah, but Boston College, University of Massachusetts in Worcester's got great doctors. So, you know, in the Northeast, but this is America. I mean, geez, or anywhere in the world, for crying out loud. You want to have a doctor that is an expert. And I asked him, one of my first questions was, how many have you done? He said, over 60. Now, that's interesting because how many shoulders has he done? Over 600 or 6,000.
Wow.
So it's not, I mean, it's like how many CBCs have I looked at? How many blood pressures have I taken?
10,000.
Yeah, thousands. Yeah. So he was very honest and he said, over 60. And I said, are you comfortable doing this? Because I know this is like pec tears are not common. But for weightlift, they're common for us.
Right, yeah.
So you have to, so many patients, I actually have a patient of mine, I don't want to say his name, but I know he's watching. He came to me about a year and a half ago. He tore his pec on the job, and he's I don't want to say anymore. And he's a big lifter, and I was like, holy shit, buddy, immediately go to orthopedic. So he goes, Doc, I have an orthopedic doc that I've done, you know, that I've seen for his knee, for his other thing. And I go to him. Long story short, the guy said, I don't feel comfortable fixing it. He did not refer him. And this guy today has this man today has a disfigured, dysfunctional pec.
Big dent.
Oh, it looks like crap. And it's painful. He doesn't lift anymore. Pec deck, he's super weak. And he called me, of course, when he saw the Instagram, and he was like, oh my God, we're twins. I go, yeah. Well, I go, well, I hope not. He goes, I hope not either, buddy.
Oh,
and he goes, can I go see your doctor? And I said, please call him up.
I mean, in a situation like that, isn't it too late for him though?
I hate to say it, but I'm an internist, everyone. I have to refer that to orthopedic surgeons.
Yeah.
It's not optimal. I mean, it's probably too late though, because you know what they have to do now? They have to cut all that scar. They have to cut all that scar tissue.
Right.
And they have to, the
muscle, anytime you tear a muscle and it retracts like that, I think the longer it stays retracted, the more scar tissue forms, and the more difficult it's going to be to try to pull it back to the origin.
It's called fibrosis. It's called fibrosis scarring. It's called a contracture.
Yeah.
So you're right. The muscle contracts, and it basically atrophies and undergoes apoptosis. It basically dies. It's like partially paralyzed.
It sucks. Now, this might be neither here nor there, and it's probably a conversation to be having with exercise physiologists, but I have to throw it out there because we're talking about bench pressing and pec tears. A lot of bodybuilders that I know have gotten away from bench pressing over the past really like 20 years.
Yeah.
There's been a real movement away from it because there's a very common belief that the barbell bench press is, anytime I've ever heard of anyone tearing a pec, that's what they were doing. They weren't doing dumbbell presses. They weren't using dumbbells or Smith machine or anything else. It was the barbell flat bench press. So, I mean, I'm just throwing the question at you just for your personal opinion. It doesn't have to be an expert opinion. But for bodybuilders out there trying to build their chest, if there are other ways to do it, which there are, you think it's worth it, the risk-benefit ratio?
What? Don't bench with a straight bar.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I 100% agree, Ron. You and I have been around the game for decades.
Yeah.
I know. I saw this, and when you have power lifters, in the gym and bodybuilders, which everyone knows that it's like this, right? But to the outside world, it's like, you know, we all look like the same guys, but
you're all weightlifters.
Yeah, that's right. But so, you know, the powerlifters do the same motion over, you know, the squat, bench press, deadlift, obviously, and forget CrossFit, and they kind of all look the same. Yeah. But bodybuilders, I remember that 20 years ago. I was like, yeah, you guys are like, you got a bench, man. And they were like, no, thank you. We're gonna do the straight. We're gonna do the incline, the dumbbells, and I don't want to tear my pec.
Right.
And you know what? You are 100% on the money.
I mean, there still is that. There's a holdover from the old days where it's this macho thing where people expect or they almost demand that bodybuilders train on all the powerlifting movements, and they think they should all. If you look like this, you should be able to bench press 400, squat 600, deadlift 600. You should. Yeah. It's like a must, even though bodybuilding is all about building a physique. It's really for all show.
True.
The people, if you compete in bodybuilding, it doesn't matter if you built that body with little baby weights or giant, thousands of pounds of weights. It's all about what they're looking at. But, you know, guys still have that mentality where we were all kids, and it was all about how much do you bench, and that's the exercise we all started off on. Everyone I know started off in like a basement or an attic or something, or a garage on a bench press. Everybody.
The Weider bench with the plastic with cement inside.
Right. So it's I get it. I get why guys, no matter who they are, what they consider themselves, powerlifter, weekend warrior, weightlifter, bodybuilder, everybody still wants to bench. But, you know, I'm here to tell you guys, I managed to build a very big chest without being able to bench press for shit. I can't bench press my way out of a paper bag.
Wow.
Neither here nor there.
What's the most you ever benched, if you don't mind me asking?
That's a good question because I don't know, because I always had spotters, and it was the it's all you, bro situation. It wasn't all me. Like I could give you the short answer. I did 405 for 10, but did I really do 405 for 10, or did I do 250 and the other guy did I can't do the math, but did the other guy do an upright row with the rest of it? I couldn't tell you.
I know. We're all in the gyms. We all see it.
I could say dumbbells because I wasn't being heavily spotted. Like it was my wife's spot. I've done like 150s and stuff, but
nice
in the older days. But it never mattered to me. Which, see, that's why I feel kind of bad for you, because I know strength is that's your thing. That's what you've always trained for, and that's what you pride yourself on. You've been a competitive power lifter. You know a lot of elite power lifters. So for you, it is all about the numbers and X amount of weight. And I know you can't wait to get back to what you love and getting those big numbers up again.
I mean, part of me is self-hating. I'm not kidding. Part of me is it's like a self-hate. You really want to go through that. I want to tell people it's self-hating. Why do I do this to myself? I've torn all these. My mother just loves me. The son, what? My mother just. When have you had enough?
Yeah.
But she doesn't say it anymore. She just gives me a hug and what can I do for you, which is the right answer. Okay. And it's like, and then I think I'm done. How many times have you all said, I'm done with this? Not to mention steroids. I'm done. And then you go back. So will I come back? Is there a crystal ball? Will I come back at 181 and bench 400 pounds at 54 years old?
My Magic 8 Ball says yes.
That's it.
No, what else does Magic 8 Ball say? I can't remember. The answer is hazy. Ask again.
I mean, but I'm not doing it. It's like I'm bipolar. I'm not going to do it. I'm never going to do it again. I'm going to do it. This is bullshit. You hear music like Van Halen Eruption, and it brings you back to like the 1990s. Remember, man, the 1980s, 90s? You know, you hear something you train with, and then you just want to like punch yourself and start training. I mean, and I'm 50. I mean, Ron, I'm worried. I'm not growing up.
Why would you want to, though? Hey, I'm all over the place, but you train in your house. You train at home a lot of times, right?
Well, I train in when you're a powerlifter, you train now pretty much in private lifting clubs.
Okay. What is your go-to song for your heaviest lift?
Oh, my God. I have so many.
Welcome to the Jungle?
Motorhead is one. Like, remember old school Motorhead?
Like Ace of Spades?
Not Ace of Spades. Was it Iron Horse?
Sadly, I'm not the Motorhead expert that I should
Oh,
be.
Ace. I don't know. I'm 50. I'm 53, right? So, you know, I mean, like, I mean, AC/DC.
Back in Black, yeah.
I mean, Motley Crue. I mean,
Kickstart My Heart, yeah.
yeah, man, like this heavy stuff. But then again, I've trained in gyms where you got some interesting guys, like, the cultural guys in there. So you got like heavy duty rap. And so it's like, that's one beautiful thing about what I can tell people about the powerlifting world and the brotherhood of the gym. It don't matter if you're black or white or green or gray, how much do you bench? And that's some pretty cool stuff. And I've been involved with that for 20 or 30 years, where the bullshit stops right at the door. You're hanging out, you're benching with the big boys. It's cool, Ron. Isn't that cool though, Ron?
It is. Now I want to know where you go from here. Is there are you going to go to physical therapy? How are you going to rehab from this?
I always go to 1 or 2 physical therapies just to kind of see what they would do, and then I just do it on my own.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be, I mean, I'm trying so hard not. I want to get back on the bike because I'm really a psycho mountain biker now, and I'm going to get an adventure bike. I'm going to buy probably a KTM adventure. This is a motorcycle. I'm going to buy.
Is that a motorcycle, or I don't even know what
motorcycle? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going through the mid-age. I guess
that's a brilliant idea. Definitely do that.
That's
a great idea. Definitely get a motorcycle.
You have a motorcycle?
No, my mom won't let me. My mom's been dead for a long time, but I call my wife my mom. My mommy won't let me.
Funny. Well, I'm not getting it now, but Ron, I see this is a big thing for men too, and women, I'm sure too. I've been going through a mid-age crisis for about 10 years now.
Yeah. That's about right. I started mine about 18 years ago.
I look at you, Ron. I see the pictures on Instagram. You look insane. I always think, what is that now, or is that from Ron from 5 years ago?
It's hard. It's impossible to tell.
You look phenomenal, Ron. You look jacked to the gills. You're 49?
I'll be 49 next month. Yeah.
Ron, is that insane? And I was like, I can't believe you're 49. What's 40? What does that mean now? I mean, look, there are some men in their 60s, no names mentioned. They look unbelievable.
Oh, dude, I've seen some guys, I tell you, I've seen some guys in their 60s and 70s who look amazing. Awesome. Yeah. TRT.
TRT, baby. Take care of your organs. TRT. Let's do it forever.
Yeah, they're still training hard, eating right, take care of your
it's body. Like, Ron, it's like nothing else matters. It's like all the money isn't this true, Ron? All the money in the world will never, ever, ever buy you that body.
That's right. Yeah.
It's amazing. Everything else in the world, diamonds, money, power, women, men, you can buy anything. I don't care how much money you have. You will never be able to buy that body.
Someday, though. Someday.
But growth hormone and all the drugs do get expensive.
Oh, absolutely. No, but I'm talking about anybody out there watches Netflix. There's a show called Altered Carbon. It's had 1 season, and it's a futuristic show. And in the future, they can take your conscious and put it almost like a little USB thing, and put it in a brand new body every time your body wears out.
Wow!
So you can be young and jacked forever and ever. Literally,
that is awesome.
Just get new hot bodies every time you get tired of one.
Well, that's a brain transplant, Ron. Brain transplant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've put everything from all your memories and everything.
True.
They've done it like into a little chip or something, but yeah, it's the same principle. Brain transplant. Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Well, Doc, I'm glad to see that you're not totally down in the dumps about this, because you'll be fine. You had the best surgeon, one of the best people I bet in the country, if not the world, do the job for you. He said everything's on there, nice and tight. It's not going to come loose. It's not going to snap. You're good. It's just going to be a waiting game. You're just going to have to bide your time until you can come back and start hitting the weights again.
Waiting game, and that's what hurts. Waiting game.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it is what it is, man. That's guys. Look, you got to go through it. The good news is everyone goes through it. Like, you feel like, okay, people have done it. I'm going to be able to come back, and you're going to come back. You can't never give up. Never give up.
And I mean, you're also so busy, it keeps you distracted. If you were like some jobless guy on his couch all day, sitting there moping about an injury, imagine what that would be like.
Unbelievable. I'd be drinking. I mean, like, I'm just joking.
You'd be drinking and watching those like lawyer commercials all day.
I mean, like, I mean, it's just. But thank you so much, everyone, for reaching out. Please go to the Anabolic Doc YouTube channel and watch these videos, man, because they're very educational. We are going to talk in the future, although the doc kind of avoided it a little bit, about growth factors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think maybe you and I, Ron, could talk about it. I mean, growth hormone, IGF alpha, does this stuff really speed up these things? You'll get what a great amount of data for that. I mean, to look at. I think it does. But what are the side effects, and does it really work? And how do you, spot injecting IGF versus spot injecting growth hormone? How much growth hormone to take? I mean, look, these guys do it, and now this is now for medical regeneration to help someone heal.
Right.
So, and I don't care to discuss it, like if I'm going to do it or what I'm going to do, but I mean, it's just pathetic that we're still living in the Neanderthal times that we have to, like, doctors can't help people with this stuff. It's just unbelievable. I mean, so guys just do it on their own. I mean, I've already done the research.
Nice. All right. Well, we will be back to our regularly scheduled Q&As next time, but this has been enlightening. I'm sorry to hear that this happened to you, Doc, but it does seem like there's a silver lining to this dark cloud. It's going to be okay. Appreciate you sharing this story with us. And definitely, everybody, I got to watch part 2. I've only watched part 1 of the video. I got to go check out part 2. Go to anabolicdoc.com or metabolicdoc.com, and you can see links to both videos. The gruesome procedure, but it got him all fixed up, and he's going to be on the road to recovery. So, yeah, cool.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Next week.
Thank you, Doctor. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.